seal it. You're like an ocean without land, not a single grain of sand. I'm drifting on.
What my sound preferences are. I like bass. And if it can have quantity and quality, yeah, I'm rocking it. Especially mid bass. I like the slam over the sub bass rumble. I like my mids super clean. Not a big fan of overly colored, overly thick, overly warm mids. Not a big fan of that. And highs that are very sweet and seem to be able to keep up without ever being overbearing or in your face. So
You're making it brighter, right through the gray.
My ace boom boom, no flex, no. I won't gas you up like petrol. Just trying to take you way up where the jets go. But you didn't notice that. Keep clocking all my hours, I told you that. Work now, play later. But you keep going off on me. Keep texting like it's all on me. Yeah, you're all in my head like you're my forever, not for right now. My day one, you hold me down. Hard cold like the wintertime. Fight for your love, can't slow me down. Don't go far. I take me and you over living large. Know I'll be there wherever you are. Cause you shine bright like a shoelace.
Hello, welcome back to my channel. This is the Tone Deaf Monk, and today I'm bringing you a bird. Not a parrot, not a parakeet, not a budgie, but a Dynabird. It sounds way meaner, and they are. This is Oriveti's new release in their BLEQK series, which stands for Basic Line Exquisite Quality Kept. Damn, that was actually hard to spit out, but there you be. Like every single Oriveti I've tried, and this will be number 4 now, I think there's a motif going on about every one. Unlike some other companies who just throw tunings at a dartboard and hope what shows up is working, Oriveti actually, I think, puts a lot of thought and time From my communication with Marco over at Oriveti, it really seems like they just don't pump stuff out. They actually take their time and they put it out exactly as they want it. And I think this one is there as well. Now, this is more of a kind of semi-bullet style IM. I'll pull off my Osla crystal ear tip, and you can kind of see that it's sort of a bullet, but it's got more of a body to it as well. So I would say it's more of a hybrid. I'm going to throw a picture of that up too. Can you see how absolutely funky that nozzle filter is? He even goes on to mention how much of the time and effort and they did on that custom filter system. And it kind of reflects in the tuning here as well. Overall, kind of like a gunmetal stainless steel kind of look. It's an aluminum CNC machine shell. It says BLEQK by Oriveti on the top, and then it has Dynabird. A left and right actually like engraved into the shell, so it's easy to see. It'll never come off. And there's a front vent, and there's also another vent right. Oh man, hard to focus in on that. So there is two vents on this IM. One for the back of the shell, and you can see it above. There it is. Above the 2-pin termination, right there, there's one vent, and there's another vent right there on the nozzle, on the front of the nozzle. Now, also, if you take an ear tip and you cover over that vent, you also get a bit different tuning with a little bit more bass response, but kind of liked it the way it was. So I'm not mucking with anything, no filters, no nothing on this IM. What is inside of this is a 9.2 millimeter beryllium coated driver. Now, when I hear that, my ears perk up, not literally, and my radar goes off because I like the sound of beryllium drivers. Secondly, if you put it in a metal shell, I find that just like home speaker cabinets, the denser it is or the different materials they are change the tonal configuration of the driver. And I do find that is the case for this one as well. I think if this was in a resin shell, you wouldn't get the bass response that you do out of it. So in Oriveti's lineup, there was the ones that I've tried so far. The OD100, that was kind of a bright neutral tuning, more on the treble head side. And then on the OD200, with that beautiful green CNC machine shell again, we got a warmer, bassier, kind of really relaxed top end. It was such a chill IM. And then we got the OH700 VB, which you'll see at the beginning of this video is there from the beginning. It is in my top 6, and I love that IM to smithereens. Sometimes you see it go down for around $500, and it is a wonderful IM. People have to remember that not always the newest is the best. This little continuation of this kind of bullet style from the OD100 is a little bit more thicker in body. So fitment wise, I think I can get a little bit better fit, and it's a pretty small little shell, right? So I don't think fitment will be an issue for too many people. The rounded edges don't poke out anywhere on me, so I find it quite comfortable. And since my medium large ears, I was actually wishing they were maybe a little bit bigger. So bullet styles aren't normally my typical favorite. I do like more of a shell, kind of semi-custom resin shell personally. But this little design, this CNC machine shell, like everything I think Oriveti has done or that I've seen, is top quality. Really well done, really well finished. Everything was thought of, including, and I'll talk about this little cable here in a second, but this shell was inspired by the beauty of geometric design, and it kind of shows, and I kind of like it. They do get a bit scratched up, I will say, so get yourself one of these little mesh baggies. I wish all metal IEMs actually came with those. That would be really nice, wouldn't it? It's a nice little, I think more and more are. That would be really nice, just so they don't get beat up. So this dynamic driver in here is a dual chambered dynamic driver, which according to Oriveti does add some dynamics and some resolution, and I would agree with that statement as well. I showed you a little picture of that custom filter nozzle. Very cool, very different actually. Other than that, the only specs I will want to share with you is a 16 ohm impedance, 105 decibels. Why I'm mentioning that as well is because I found this IEM to be very easily driven. Now, some observations that I want to share with you. First of all, I love this combination of this beryllium driver and this metal shell. I think it's adding some special sauce into the mix in the bass department, that's for sure. If we look at this graph here, not to be a measure stabator, but it looks a little bass lean, but that is really not how it sounds in ears. Like the SIMGOT EA 500s and the 500 LM, they're a bit deceiving. And later in this video, I'm going to do a little bit of a comparison against that one as well. I love the case. One of my absolute favorite little pocketable, useful carrying case, little mesh up top. Which is nice. It easily holds the IEMs and the cable in place, and a dongle up top. This little cable is, I don't think SPC, just pure copper, but super soft and non-tangly. Really nice little cable. Again, I find the teeny little details quite nice. It says BLEQK by Oriveti, and on the other end it has a nice left and right on the bottom to match up with the engraved left and right on the IEM. Attention to detail, that's what makes it, right? Sound signature, I would call this one neutral bright tuning with a bit of mid forwardness, slight emphasis on the upper mids for sure, but actually not enough to get too shouty. The replay on the bass end is quite tight, and the dynamic driver here, this beryllium driver, can pull low when it's asked to. So I do find for me in this tuning, and I'll talk about that in a bit, it does get a little bit sibilant in the top end. But for those of you who like a little bit more energy up there, a little bit more pizzazz, especially for female vocals, you're really going to dig this one quite a lot. So let's talk a couple track impressions a little bit. First one I want to talk about, and Apple kind of ruined this song, it's your fault. Feist, saying 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Kick my ass out the door. I just really love the tight, punchy bass of this beryllium driver. I'll say that again. It's had standout piano and banjo. I think some of these IEMs are going to turn me into like a banjo aficionado. It had great detail retrieval, and female vocals are one of the Dynabird strong suits for sure. Last Day of Our Acquaintance by Sinead O'Connor. Can't tell you if it was before or after she shaved all her hair off, but there you go. The bird loves female vocals. I'll say it. It favors the extra energy at that 2K to brighten up the top end. And especially if you pair this with a warmer source, and add, because that will add in enough weight to make a very dynamic and engaging presentation. It really makes vocals sing without them being tuned off in the tonal department. So Sinead sounded like Sinead. With brighter sources, not as much. It was a little bit thin and dry. So again, I would definitely recommend a warmer source with the Dynabird. Cashmere by Marcin. Bass goes low. I use that track to do some of my bass impressions. It actually, and I was doing a comparison to the Keyfine DELCI. I will tell you that it hits harder than the DELCI. And the beautiful high-end and instrumental replay on this track was quite engaging. Switching over to some John Legend, some male vocals. Wonder Woman, vocals were clean again. But here's where I can hear the trailing edges of John's voice. It has a bit of a sharpness to it. And I found it kind of needed for my personal taste to be softened for more of a correct tonality that I think his voice asks for. Maybe a bit more warmth and a little bit less shout. So that's the way I heard that. And I think kind of in a nutshell, track after track, that's what was getting my impressions. Bass was tight, taste was fast. When there was lots of bass in the track, the driver is certainly capable of playing it. Not a bass head I am at all. And definitely favors female vocals over male vocals in just the way this tuning is done. And speaking more about this tuning, it has a lot of upper. It doesn't have so much upper mids energy, though there's some there. But where it does have a lot of energy is in the treble. And so if you are like me in that 6-7K area and you're sensitive to that and you listen to it, or you like to listen to it at a little bit more higher volumes, what you're going to get is some more sibilance, and you're going to get some ear ringing, which I do. And that's probably because I like listening to at medium or high volumes. Listening at low volumes, I don't have as much issue, and I can listen to it longer. But at higher volumes, I can only get about an hour of listening, and then my ears do ring, and that's because I'm sensitive to that 6-7K area. Staging was good. Again, I find dynamic drivers wonderful for staging, great width, and all the access. It wasn't standout like maybe like the nice HCK like the Himalaya was, but it's also not $300. This IM is going to retail for $100, and I also have two here that I'd also like to compare against because this particular tuning might not be for everybody. There's a lot of you that really, really love K-pop fans and that kind of K-pop, J-pop, don't forget, right? That really love this kind of tuning and this little bit brighter mid-forwardness and this energy that makes it quite dynamic and not have too much bass where it just kind of saturates and takes away from that special sauce in the upper mids and the treble. So I also had here the DELCI from Keyfine. And of course, I don't think you can do any $100 below IM comparison without doing the SIMGOT EA500LM. Both of these in their element, and they do a standout job. They're both fantastic IMs, and they're all tuned differently. Let's go into the SIMGOT EA500LM. And on mine, I wanted to kind of, because it has swappable nozzles and tunability, or easier tunability, I wanted to get it closer. So I used the brass nozzles with the red ring on it. And I will show you that graph in comparison. Like the Bird, on certain songs you can pick up some top end glare and some sibilance, and that's that upper mids for you. And it's not as noticeable on different IMs that have more of a bass shelf, because your brain kind of picks up the bass and it carries over, and it's not as much information. Your brain doesn't say, oh, there's a lot of information in the upper mids and treble, because I'm still listening to some bottom end. Now, and that was one of the critiques that SIMGOT has had in the past, where they love their upper mids, and if people like me keep trying to squash the upper mids down a bit to make it a little bit more flat, a little bit more balanced tuning, but they love what they love, and you might love what you love, and I love what I love. We're all just a bunch of lovers. The 500 LM is more authoritative in the bass, just a tad, but has slightly better decay and texture. So I think the driver is better in the 500 LM, is what I'm saying, or what that translates to me saying to you. Build quality, comfort, I'll go to the SIMGOT. For me, again, it's subjective, but I just find the shell shape and comfort better for me. It just, again, it's a smaller shell, but man, when these things go in, they're so incredibly comfortable for me. And the fact that they're the tunability. They sell for $90 a set. Now the DELCI. At $75. So the DELCI are lighter. They are significantly harder to drive. So that's one thing you might want to keep in mind if you were thinking about picking one up or the other. The DELCI definitely needed more power, twice as much power to get it to the same volume levels. The DELCI for me, again, lighter, more comfortable for my ears. And certainly the most balanced over the Bird. The one thing that I do find about the DELCI 2 is, and I talk about this quite often, is the nozzle angle and the length. And the DELCI has nailed it, where the nozzle angle is, it can get up into your ear canal at a better angle, and that's probably also why I get better sound out of this as well, and better bass. So not only are they more light and more comfortable for my ears, again, subjective, your ears, my ears, female vocals here in comparison will definitely go to the Bird. But male vocals go to the DELCI, and I'll tell you why. The bass easily goes to the DELCI in quantity, but maybe not in quality. I found the Bird to have really nice, and again, it's that beryllium fast, speedy bass that I really like as a preference, where I maybe wish it had a little bit more to counterbalance some of that upper mids. I really like the bass of this set. Top end, stage, and details are equal on these two. Micro details resolution go into the Dynabird's favor. The DELCI also has, in my opinion, probably have the more natural tone and timbre out of the two. So to conclude, I really like this IM. Though not my preferred tuning, they're like every other Oriveti. I find that they have put thought into it, put care into it, have accessorized it well, fit finish, top quality. And I love the fact that they have, for these 4 different IMs, there's 5 fingers, sorry, 4 different tunings. So you could kind of pick and price point. So since this is in their entry level, it starts off at the most reasonable one. And I think it's probably the most balanced tuning that Oriveti has. At $100. The Dynabird does nothing wrong. It has a lot of things going for it, and done correctly. So built well, great accessories, attractive, great for female vocal strings, come to life and sing. I don't think this IM will work for all genres though. But it certainly tries its best. Let's put it that way. I think the biggest thing that will hold this set back, one being a SIMGOT 500 LM, because it exists and is less money and is tunable. It has the same kind of quality stuff in the box, nice case, nice cable. And you can take the tuning further with a $4 tuning kit. So there is that. And then there is the Keyfine DELCI. It's more balanced, it's less shouty, it's just as detailed in the mids and treble. Great accessories, it's lighter, it's arguably more comfortable, and it's 3/4 of the price of the Dynabird. It's $75 versus $99. So there's that. There you go. So it really depends on you, your tuning preferences, I would think. But for It Is Tuning, Oriveti did a smash-up job. Did it well. And one thing I'll say about the Dynabird's tuning is it does have more upper mids energy and a little bit less relaxed, a little bit more relaxed in the bass department than my preferences. But I found myself really enjoying the set as well. And when I didn't turn it up too much and I put it on a warm source, I've had some great listening sessions with this IM. And if you're a fanboy like me and wanted to have it in my Oriveti collection, then here's the link in the description. You will find that as well. So wanted to say thank you to Hi-Fi Go and Oriveti for providing this sample to the Canucks Audioholics. And thank you for watching my video. Until the next time.